Hey, P. I know it's been a while since my last virtual lesson, and that's of course because I wanted to give you some time to work on your current events and your They Say, I Say blogs that I expect that you're still working on. Originally, the intention of those assignments were to get you prepared for the argument or question 3 on the AP exam. That no longer looks like it's going to be a part of the exam. In fact, it's not going to be part of the exam, but it is still a test grading class. So it's important that you continue moving forward with that. And of course, it's always important to be informed. So I'm looking at Consider the Lobster here, right? You've been working with this assignment since Monday, some of you maybe even since Friday. I've been getting some really good emails from you guys, like really strong observations, really strong questions that I hadn't even considered. So I'm really pleased with that. This exercise is going to help you with the body paragraph of your rhetorical analysis. Next week, we're going to drive home thesis statements like super hard. It's going to be the focus of all week because your thesis statement is essentially your make it or break it of the whole essay, right? If you don't have a strong thesis, there's nothing for you to prove. And if you're proving something that has no thesis to tie it back to, your paper just falls apart one way or another. So I'm looking at Consider the Lobster rhetorical analysis activity. I hope you're enjoying this text. I really enjoy Wallace. I think he's funny. I don't think I need to hide that from you. Humor is one of the rhetorical devices that I've asked you to find. And I think although it's a longer read, I think it's a good read. It goes by a lot quicker because it's so good. So I'm going to go ahead and look at page 8 of the document, at least when you're looking at it as a PDF. It's 242 on the actual copy of the text. And I'm going to pay attention to footnote 8, okay, because I wanted to do one of these with you. Now I've got a copy of this assignment, so this is going to show up on the master. From what I've heard from Mr. Orr's class is if you used, I think he said it was DocHub or Cami, you can go ahead and annotate the text right there on your computer, and then you can copy and paste the textual evidence a little bit quicker than you would here. So if I had the capacity to, I would copy and paste all of this right here. So footnote 8, either copy and paste it or type it out. Right, you have more time to do this than I do since I just have a quick screencast to show you. Reference to paragraph number. Let's go ahead and start each page number as a new page. Of course, focusing on the page number it's labeled, and then the paragraphs on there. So this would be like page 242, paragraph 1, paragraph 2. All right, and each one you can start over. So this would be paragraph 1, paragraph 2, etc., etc. But since it's a footnote, that's already cited itself. So we can just go ahead and say footnote 8. They're numbered, they're in numerical order as you go from top to bottom of the document. Here's the big one, the explanation of the effect on the intended purpose. First, you have to determine what is the intended purpose. I think that the title itself really sheds some light on the intended purpose. Consider the lobster. Once you've summarized this text and once you've read this text, you can go back to the title and reflect on it. Why would Wallace choose to call this Consider the Lobster? Consider the lobster in what regard? Why consider the lobster? And if we were to turn to page, I just saw it, here we go, 243, the one after footnote 8. Here it says, so then here is a question that's all but unavoidable at the world's largest lobster cooker and may arise in kitchens across the U.S. Is it all right to boil a sentient creature alive just for our gustatory pleasure? That's the question. Okay? I think that if we answer that question, and I don't even think it needs answering, but I think if we consider that question and consider the lobster, we can consider what the intended purpose is. And I want you to, in your intended purpose, not just make it specific to lobster, not just make it specific to animals, but make it universal. And that's always the intention of the speaker when talking to the audience, right? When you hear something from a speaker, when you're like, let's pretend you're at like a graduation ceremony and the whoever's speaking is speaking to you in order to give you some wisdom to apply to your life, right? So it's never specific to that moment. It's not like how to act in a graduation setting. It's how to act to be more successful in life. So you're taking that knowledge and being successful elsewhere. You're making it universal and apply elsewhere. Same thing here. It's not just about lobster. He hasn't devoted 20 pages to just lobster. Right? He's talking about something more universal. What is the lobster a symbol of? If you have questions about that, email me. I will not give you the intended purpose, but we can